Hello everyone. So in this video students we will be discussing important current affairs for the first week of the December month. The session will be quite interesting and important, so stay tuned with us till the end. In this video 60 plus questions will be discussed. They will be very beneficial for all the students who are preparing for competitive exams. If you are new to our channel and haven't subscribed to us, do subscribe. We are one stop solution for current affairs. Students, we upload the daily current affairs video at 5 a.m. in the morning on daily basis. Then weekly current affairs, monthly current affairs and topic wise are uploaded regularly. That will help you in your learning.
Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. You can find our Crack Current Affairs course on our application exclusively for current affairs, where you will be getting daily, weekly and monthly current affairs on regular basis. You can use code VIKAS10 to get additional 10% discount while purchasing the course. This video is available both in English and Hindi. The timestamp for both English and Hindi are mentioned in the description of each video. You can contact us on the number provided or mail provided. Also follow us on Telegram and Instagram, and the link for the same is provided in the description of each video.
Also students, we have started a new initiative that is of handwritten notes. It is helpful to understand the news daily, time saving and very useful for your revision. We aims to cover 15 questions via handwritten notes in upcoming bank exams. These handwritten notes are available on daily current affairs content PDF at our mobile application and website careerscloud.in. Only our Crack Current Affairs subscribers will be able to access these handwritten notes. A sample PDF of the handwritten notes will be available in the description. The first question is, who has recently inaugurated the International Cooperative Alliance Global Cooperative Conference 2024 in New Delhi? So it was inaugurated by whom? Prime Minister Narendra Modi. What is the location in New Delhi? Bharat Mandapam. This conference was hosted by whom? It was hosted by IFCO. It was hosted by IFCO, right, in collaboration with the Government of India and Amul. Right. Also, this conference was held from 25th to 30th of November based on the theme Cooperatives Build Prosperity for All. Next, name the mobile application that was launched by the Ministry of Education to transform education in India by equipping teachers with advanced skills for 21st century classrooms. So what is the name of that application? It is the Teacher App. This is an innovative digital platform that is aiming at transforming education in India by equipping teachers with advanced skills for the 21st century classrooms. The launch event was held where? In New Delhi, and this app is developed by whom? It is developed by Bharti Airtel. Correct. Also, there is a theme of this event, that is Elevating Teachers, Elevating India, during which this application was launched. This application features a teaching kit that provides 900 hours of material, including lesson plans, teaching videos, project-based activities, question banks, worksheets, etc. Next, in the first half of FY25, RBI in its RBI Bulletin of November 2024 reported a net purchase of how much amount of foreign currency assets. So RBI reported a net purchase of $8.52 billion of foreign currency assets in the first half of FY25. And RBI sold a net of $1.5 billion in September 2023 in their net outstanding forward sales that stood at $14.58 billion. Next. One more thing, remember, in 2024 alone, our country India added $53.2 billion to their reserves. That is the second largest increase in Asia. Next, to which country the first batch of the Indian manufactured and the most indigenously developed Pinaka multi-barrel rocket launchers will be delivered or exported? So India will be exporting it to which country? To Armenia. What? Multi-barrel rocket launcher by the name Pinaka. Next is National Constitution Day, also known as Samvidhan Divas, is observed across India on 26th of November. And 26th of November marks which anniversary of adopting the Constitution of India? It marks the 75th anniversary of adopting the Constitution of India, as Samvidhan Divas or the Constitution was adopted when in 1949, on 26th of November 1949, right? And this year it was the 75th anniversary of the adoption of the Constitution of India. Also, the theme of this year's National Constitution Day or Samvidhan Divas is Hamara Samvidhan Hamara Swabhiman. First time this day was observed in the year 2015. Next, whose birth anniversary is commemorated on National Milk Day, that is on 26th of November in India. See, Milk Day, right? Who is famous or who is known as the father of White Revolution or Milkman of India? So he is Varghese Kurin, Dr. Varghese Kurin. He is also known as the father of White Revolution. White Revolution is related to the revolution in the dairy products, dairy sector, right? And Dr. Varghese Kurin, also known as the Milkman of India. This year it was the 103rd birth anniversary of him. For the first time, this National Milk Day was observed in the year 2014. Next, which Indian city has recently inaugurated the world's first all-women bus depot, that is Sakhi Depot, right? So where is this? It is in New Delhi. India's first all-women bus depot, Sakhi Depot, is in India, is in New Delhi. In New Delhi too, it is at Sarojini Nagar, right? And this initiative features an entirely female workforce that includes your drivers, conductors, and other staff. Next is, which bank has recently raised 10,000 crore rupees at a coupon rate of 7.23% through their 7th infrastructure bond issuance? It is SBI, State Bank of India, right? Coupon rate here is of 7.23%. That is, this much interest per month per year will be given. The tenure here will be for 15 years, and the amount raised here is 10,000 crore rupees. Next, name the portal that was launched by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation to facilitate seamless access to official statistics in India. So it is eSankhi portal, right? This is the portal that was recently launched. This portal is designed to enhance the accessibility and will provide official statistics in India that are based on various surveys and census. And this eSankhi portal has been launched with its own API that will ensure the data accessibility by various platforms that includes the National Data and Analytics platform. Next, which organization has recently celebrated the Diamond Jubilee on 26th of November in New Delhi? So which organization it is? It is National Federation of State Cooperative Banks Limited, and Diamond Jubilee is for 60 years, right? Where was this event held for this Diamond Jubilee? It was held at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. And Union Minister Amit Shah stated that in 2027, India will become the third largest economy in the world, right? And it is expected that next year in 2025, we will become the fourth largest economy. Next, which country has recently signed the final act of the Riyadh Design Law Treaty? So, which country signed the final act of Riyadh Design Law Treaty? It is our India, right? After the negotiations of almost 2 decades, this treaty has been adopted by the members of World Intellectual Property Organization. This will harmonize and simplify the registration process for various industrial designs. Next, which organization has recently signed an agreement with the India's Ministry of External Affairs to implement solar energy projects in Fiji, Comoros, Madagascar, and Seychelles? So, which organization signed this agreement? It is International Solar Alliance, that is ISA, the headquarters of which is in Gurugram, Haryana. Right? Take a note of this. Moving on, which of the following companies has not received the license by RBI to operate as a payment aggregator cross-border entity? So among the following, it is Razorpay. It has not received the license by RBI for payment aggregator cross-border entity, right? Cash free payments, Amazon Pay, Aid in India, and BillDesk. They have all received this license. Next, in November, World Bank approved dash amount of funding for enhancing the landscape and ecosystem management project in Tripura and Nagaland. What is the name of this project? Element. Question can be asked that what is the name of that project for which World Bank has funded so and so amount For the landscape and ecosystem management in Tripura and Nagaland, it is Element. And vice versa can also be asked that Element project will be implemented in which two states? It will be in Tripura and Nagaland. So how much amount funding has been approved? It is $225.5 million funding has been approved. In this Element project, the target is to conserve and restore 1 lakh hectares of forest and biodiversity. Also, it will prevent 4,35,000 tons of carbon emissions to mitigate the climate change. Next is who has recently become the first Indian to host International Emmy Awards 2024. So, Veer Das, right? He recently hosted the 52nd edition of International Emmy Awards that took place in New York, USA, and he became the first Indian to host this event. Next, which platform has recently partnered with Urban Company to empower women salon and beauty parlor owners? So, women entrepreneurship platform, right? They partnered with Urban Company and they are recently empowering the women salons and beauty parlor owners. Next, name the campaign that was launched by the Union Minister Annapurna Devi to eradicate child marriage and empower the young girls in India. So name of that campaign is Bal Vivah Mukt Bharat, right? This launch coincides with the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. Also, this event marked the launch of Child Marriage Free Bharat portal. The aim of this campaign is to reduce child marriage below to bring that the total number of child marriage below 5% by 2029, right? And under this law, it is prohibited to get a girl married under 18 years of age and boys under 21 years of age. Next, Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh has announced the selection of 8 startups to support DASH and the National Mission on Interdisciplinary Cyber Physical System. So what is it? It is National Quantum Mission. Even if you remember, a chip Willow has been launched by Google and it is expected it will be one of the most advanced and important chip that will be used in large amount of computation or large processing where it is required, right? And it will be a game changer for AI. Next, where was the India-Singapore bilateral military exercise Agni Warrior held from 28th to 30th of November? So where was this held? It was held in Maharashtra, right? It was from 28th of November to 30th of November. And this was the 13th edition of this joint military exercise held in Maharashtra. Next, name the portal that was recently launched by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution that will enable the consumers to file their complaints. It is e-Dakhil portal, right? And it was first introduced on 7th of September 2020 by the National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission. It will provide efficient and convenient way for the customers to approach the relevant consumer forum, right, and file for their grievances. Next, which bank has recently signed an MOU with MasterCard Impact Fund to enhance MSME financing across the Asia Pacific region? So, which bank has signed this MOU? It is Asian Development Bank, that is ADB, and this will help to enhance the MSME financing, right? Under this partnership, MasterCard, they will give $5 million to the financial institution that will boost the lending in the MSMEs. And this grant will help to unlock $1 billion in Asian Development Bank financing for a period of 4 years. Next, Hemant Soren was sworn in as the Dash Chief Minister of Jharkhand. This marked Hemant Soren's Dash term as the Chief Minister of Jharkhand. So Hemant Soren was sworn in as the 14th Chief Minister of Jharkhand, and this marks Soren's 4th term as the Chief Minister of Jharkhand. So right option is option 2. Next, who has been recently elected as the 11th President of Asian Development Bank? So Masata Kanda has been appointed as the 11th President of Asian Development Bank. He will be succeeding whom? He will be succeeding Masasugu Asakawa. Next, from which submarine Indian Navy recently tested the K4 nuclear capable ballistic missile? So it is INS Arigat, from which our Indian Navy has tested this K4 nuclear capable ballistic missile. This K4 will have a range of 3500 km. It is an upgraded version of the K15 missiles that were used on INS Arihat. And this INS Arigat, remember, this is India's second nuclear powered ballistic missile submarine. Next, for which year India has recently got the hosting rights for the Asia Rifle Pistol Cup? This is for the year 2026. This competition is scheduled to take place in New Delhi in 2026. Also, previously our country India hosted the 8th edition of Asian Air Gun Competition, that was in 2015, and the Asian Olympic qualifier in 2016. Next, which organization has recently signed an MOU with Research Society for the Study of Diabetes in India to advance quality and consistency of diabetic care in India? So, which is that organization? It is National Accreditation Board for Hospitals and Healthcare Providers. This MOU will leverage the distinctive capabilities of NABH to drive national quality certifications and accreditation programs in developing best practice clinical guidelines for diabetes management and research. Next is 18th edition of NCB International Conference and Exhibition on Cement, Concrete and Building Materials, held from 27th to 29th of November in New Delhi. Who received this NCB Lifetime Achievement Award in recognition of his exceptional contributions to the cement and concrete sector? So Dr. Nani Gopal, I correct, no, Dr. H.C. Viswarya, right? Dr. H.C. Viswarya has been awarded with the NCB Lifetime Achievement Award in recognition of his contribution to cement and concrete sector. The theme of the conference during which this award was presented is Cement, the Net Zero Future. Next, exercise Sinbex. This is a joint tabletop exercise held between Indian Army and it is held between the Cambodian Army. Right, where was this held? Location, it was held in Pune, Maharashtra. Right, so this is between Indian Army and Cambodian Army. The exercise Sinbex, that is a joint tabletop exercise. This was this exercise, remember, in this question can be asked that where was this exercise held? So it was held in Pune, Maharashtra. And this exercise Sinbex had 20 personnel from both sides, and from Indian Army it was infantry brigade, from which we saw these 20 personnels. Next, according to Niti Aayog's report, that is India's booming gig and platform economy perspectives and recommendations of the future work, it was published in June 2022. The number of gig and platform workers is expected to increase to 23.5 million by what year? By FY 2030. Right, the gig force workers will constitute 6.7% of the non-agriculture workforce or 4.1% of the total livelihood in India by FY 2030. As per the estimation of the report, around 7 million, that include women, were engaged in the gig economy in 2021, which constituted 2.6% of the non-agriculture workforce, and it is expected that from 2.7 or 2.6% in 2021, it will increase to 6.7% in 2030. Also, this data report suggested that by 2030, it is expected that this gig sector has a potential to create 90 million jobs, and it will contribute 1.25% of the GDP. Next, in November, India was re-elected to the UN Peacebuilding Commission for the dash term, consolidating its position in global peace efforts. So, India was re-elected to the UN Peacebuilding Commission for 25-26, and this is for positioning in global peace efforts. Correct? Take a note of this. Next is, to which country Russia handed over the BRICS chairmanship in the final Sherpa and Sous-Sherpa meeting of BRICS held in Russia in November. So Russia handed over the chairmanship of BRICS to Brazil, and Brazil was also the second BRICS country who opposed against the Belt and Road Initiative of China. Next, which country and India has recently signed a statement of intent to collaborate on design and development of electric propulsion systems for the Indian Navy? It is United Kingdom. Next, when is UN Day for Remembrance of All Victims of Chemical Warfare annually observed across the globe? It is 30th of November we observe this day, and the first ever day was observed in 2016. Next, which state hockey team has recently won the 14th edition of Hockey India Senior Men National Championship 2024? So, which country or which state hockey team has won it? It is Odisha State's hockey team that won it by 5-1 in the finals by defeating Haryana. Next, which company has recently signed an agreement with the Transport Department of the Government of West Bengal worth 226.18 crore rupees? It is GRSE, Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited. These vessels will have a catamaran hull design and will be built with aluminium and fiber reinforced polymer. Next, name the joint military exercise held between the Indian Army and Malaysian Army that commenced at the Pahang district of Malaysia from 2nd to 15th of December. What is the name of that exercise? It is Harimau Shakti. And in this, from Indian Army, remember, Meher Regiment. Personals from Meher Regiment took part. That is 78 persons from the Meher Regiment took part. Next, in November, Government of India and Asian Development Bank have signed a dash loan agreement aiming at enhancing the horticulture crop farmers' access to certified disease-free planting materials. So, Government of India and Asian Development Bank, they have signed $98 million loan here. Next, who has been recently elected as the first female president of Namibia for a period of 5 years? So, Nedampuli Netumbu Nandi Nadaiwa, right, has been appointed as the first female president of Namibia. Next, in November, World Trade Organization General Council unanimously reappointed Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala as the 8th Director General for a consecutive 4 years term. This will be her second term that will begin on 1st of September 2025. Next, where was the inaugural session of the Global Soil Conference held in November? Where was it held? It was held in New Delhi. And the theme of this conference is Caring Soils Beyond Food Security, Climate Change Mitigation and Ecosystem Services. Next, who has recently chosen as the US Ambassador to the North Atlantic Treaty Organization? So, US Ambassador to NATO, he will be Matt Whitaker, right? Next, under which ministry Sugamya Bharat Abhiyan, also known as the Accessible India Campaign, a flagship initiative for the Government of India, has completed 9 years of successful implementation on the 3rd December 2024. So it is Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Correct? So Sugamya Bharat Abhiyan comes under your Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Next, with which organization the Ministry of Defence has recently signed an agreement for short refit and dry docking of Indian naval ship Vikramaditya? It is with Cochin Shipyard Limited, and this contract is valued at 1,207.5 crore rupees. That is supposed to last the 5 months, and here the effort is in with the efforts of the Government of India's aim, that is Atmanirbhar Bharat, Self-Reliant India and Make in India initiative. This INS Vikramaditya, it is a 45,000 ton aircraft carrier, right? And the upgrades here that will be done on this INS Vikramaditya will boost the carrier's operational readiness, and also the systems here, technology will be updated. Next, which traditional sari from Gujarat has recently received the GI tag from GI industry? So it is Gharchola sari. Name of that sari is Gharchola sari that recently received the GI tag. Next, according to recent report on science-based target initiative commitments by Indian companies that was released by Dash, India has secured which spot globally? So this data was released by ICRA ESG, Economic Social Governance Rating Limited, and here India stood at 6th position globally. UK has topped this with a total of 702 companies that are following this SBIT, that is your commitments, Correct, that is your science based target initiative commitments, and from India there are 127 companies, whereas India is on the 6th position and UK is on the 1st position. Next, which company has recently topped in India and the world respectively as per the report CIPRI Top 100 Arms Producing and Military Services Companies 2023 data released by CIPRI. So who topped this in India and the world? So Hindustan Aeronautics Limited in India, and in globally it is Lockheed Martin that secured the top position. If we are talking about Hindustan Aeronautics Limited globally was at the 43rd position. From India, then BEL was at the 67th position and Madgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited was at the 94th position. Next, USA approved 1.17 billion deal $1.17 billion deal to supply advanced communication systems, sensors, logistic support to enhance the Indian Navy's dash MH-60R multi-role helicopter. Right, this is of Sikorsky. Right, Indian Navy's Sikorsky's MH-60R multi-role helicopter. This US-made helicopter will be replacing the Sea King choppers that served in Indian Navy for almost 3 decades. Next, according to OECD's Economic Outlook December 2024, India's growth forecast has been increased by 20 basis points to dash in the FY25. So it has been increased by 20 basis points to 6.8%. Next is Rumana Sinha Sehgal, a member of Hyderabad, Telangana based T-Hub, and Akshay Deshpande, the associated startup founders of Switcheco, which have been recently honored with the Karamveer Chakra Award for FY25. Question asked is, which organization instituted the Karamveer Chakra Awards along with Indian Confederation of NGOs? So it is by United Nations. Right? Then here Rumana Sinha Sehgal, who is also the founder of Serendipity, has become the first entrepreneur from Telangana to be honored with this Karamveer Chakra Platinum Medal for FY25. And these awards basically recognize the individuals who have brought positive change in society through their work and innovation. Next, which bank has recently appointed Indian chess prodigy D. Gukesh as their brand ambassador? So it is RBL Bank Limited. Next, who won F1 Qatar Grand Prix held in Qatar? So Max Verstappen has won the Qatar Grand Prix. Next, when is UN International Day of Banks annually observed across the globe? It is 4th of December we observe this day. Next, name the Britain's former Deputy Prime Minister who passed away in November. So John Prescott, the former Deputy Prime Minister of Britain, has passed away. Next, which state government has recently decided to provide 100% exemption from road tax and registration fee on the purchase of electric vehicles? This is your Telangana state, and this will promote the buying of electric vehicles in their state. So that's all for the day, students. Now let's move to some revision part that will be beneficial in your learning. Next, name the award that was recently presented by the President Draupadi Murmu ma'am to 15 nurses and midwives at an event held at Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi. So, what is that award? National Florence Nightingale Award. Take a note of this. Then remember, National Florence Nightingale Award was instituted in 1973. It was instituted by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Correct? Next, name the missile that Indian Navy and DRDO successfully flight tested from launchpad of ITR, that is Integrated Test Range in Chandipur off the coast of Odisha. What is the name of that missile? It is Vertical Launch Short Range Surface to Air Missile. Next, India won dash many medals in the Paris 2024 Paris Paralympic Games and ranked 18th among the 170 participating nations. So India won a total of 29 medals and was secured as 18th position in the medal tally. So which is the country that secured the top position in medal tally? It was China that secured the top position in medal tally. Correct? Next, the Olympic Council of Asia has recently included Yogasana as a demonstration sport in the 2026 Asian Games, which is scheduled to be held in Nagoya, Japan. Correct? And this will be held in 2026 Nagoya, Japan, and OCA has recently included Yogasana as a demonstration sport in it. Next, which housing finance company has recently offered an IPO, that is initial public offering? It is Bajaj Housing Finance Limited, and it was at a 116% gain. It was launched, allotted, and we are seeing since then it is giving a upper circuit of 10%. Correct. Next, which city hosted the second edition of the International Conference on Green Hydrogen? I repeat, second edition of International Conference on Green Hydrogen. So which city hosted it? It was hosted by our New Delhi. Right. Next. Next is, in which year Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana was launched? So it was the year 2020 in which Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana was launched. It was launched by Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairy. Correct. And this year it was the 4th anniversary of Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. Next. Next is, in September, second edition of Asia Pacific Ministerial Conference on Civil Aviation was held where? It was held in New Delhi. This was a 2-day long conference that was organized by Ministry of Civil Aviation in partnership with International Civil Aviation Organization. During this only, a Delhi Declaration was also signed. Remember, this Delhi Declaration is important. We discussed this yesterday. What is this Delhi Declaration? This means that the countries, or the specifically the Asia Pacific countries, they should develop their civil aviation sector using sustainable development goals and using the focus on renewable energy. Next, name the mobile application that was launched at Indian Council of Agriculture Research, Central Institute of Freshwater Aquaculture for the needs for the ornamental fishery sector. See, first remember, this mobile application was developed by these ICAR CIFA. Name of that application is what? It is Rangeen Machli. And with this help of this application will be giving data in multiple languages, that is multilingual data in 8 languages. Also, this will be giving us that how should we breed those fishes, how should we take care of the fishes. Also, it will be giving us the location of aquariums that are in the nearby areas. Next, name the joint exercise that was recently conducted between Indian Air Force and Royal Oman Air Force in Oman. What is the name of that exercise? It is Eastern Bridge. Eastern Bridge, this was the 7th edition of the exercise that was held between Indian Air Force and Royal Oman Air Force. Correct? Take a note of this. And in this, Indian Air Force took part. Apart from this, if we talk about Indian Army, so Al-Najah was the exercise in which Indian Army took part, and this exercise was also held in Oman. Next, RBI has recently reported that small saving plans grew by how much percent up to February 2024, reaching 8.1 lakh crore rupees. So it was up by 13.8% as compared to that of last year. Next, which bank has recently announced a strategic partnership with DMI Finance Private Limited to offer co-branded credit card to DMI Finance existing customers? It is your RBL Bank Limited, right? So they have announced a strategic partnership along with DMI Finance Private Limited to offer co-branded credit card to DMI Finance existing customers. Next, name the SpaceX crew mission that has recently led by American billionaire entrepreneur Jared Isaacman. He returned to Earth following the successful completion of the world's private spacewalk. This is important. This spacewalk lasted 1 hour 46 minutes. It was 740 kilometers above the surface of the Earth in the Earth's orbit. And the name of the mission here is Polaris Dawn. This is the mission of SpaceX. Dragon capsule of SpaceX was used here. And to launch this, Falcon 9 rocket of the SpaceX was used. Next, which day is declared as the World Rural Development Day by United Nations General Assembly? So, World Rural Development Day is observed on 6th of July by United Nations General Assembly. And for the first time, remember, United Nations this day is declared that it will be observed on 6th of July, and it was declared by United Nations General Assembly that from 2025 onwards we will be observing this day. So we can say the first ever edition will be observed in 2025 on 6th of July, and this day is basically observed to make sure that the rural areas are also developed. Next, which country has recently become the 101st country to join International Solar Alliance. So it was Nepal. Paraguay, it was 100th country to join International Solar Alliance, and Nepal was 101st country to join International Solar Alliance. Next, which bank has recently launched MTS Rupee National Common Mobility Prepaid Card? So it has been launched by State Bank of India, correct? And this is a one of its kind card in India that will provide seamless offline payment solutions for NCMC card that will be beneficial for metros, buses, rails, ferries, for parking and so on. Next, who has been recently elected as the chairperson of the Committee of Parliament on Official Languages? So who has been re-elected here? Amit Shah, our Home Minister, has been re-elected as the chairman of the Committee of Parliament on Official Languages. And remember, this year 2024, it marks the 75th anniversary since Hindi was elected or was accepted as the official language of our India. Correct? Next, which company has recently announced to plan to set up India's first multi-sensor all-weather high revisit Earth observation satellite? Which is that company? It is Nive Space Private Limited. Correct? And this partner, this is with, remember, this Nive Limited or this Nive Space Private Limited, they have announced their plan to set up the first multi-sensor all-weather Earth observation satellite. This will help us to promote India's defense capabilities, also space capabilities, and also with the data we can able to easily monitor the climate also and provide the all-weather forecast to the farmers. Next, when was Himalayan Divas or Himalaya Divas, also known as Himalaya Day, annually observed across India? So when do we observe this day? It is observed on 9th of September, and the first observed was, or we can say for the first time, this day was observed when it was observed in 2014. Correct? So every year on 9th of September we observe Himalaya Divas or Himalaya Day. Then on 20th of July, remember, we observe International Moon Day. Next, Max Ventures Investment Holding divested how much stake in the Max Financial Services Limited for 1,218 crore rupees through open market transaction. So Max Ventures Investment Holding, they divested 3.18% stake in Max Financial Services Limited for 1,218 crore rupees. Next, the Union Ministry of Finance has recently approved the proposal of Punjab National Bank and Bank of Maharashtra to commutatively raise how much amount through the qualified institutional placement in 24-25. So they have commutatively decided to raise 10,000 crore rupees here. Next, which of the following points are correct with respect to Abu Dhabi Crown Prince visit to India from 9 to 10th of September? If we look at the options here, all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, in which city Ministry of Steel has recently hosted the event titled Greening Steel Pathway to Sustainability? This basically means that how can we generate steel using sustainable energy and green energy, right, instead of creating pollution, and also to provide markets with various incentives if they produce this green steel. Right? If there will be a demand of green steel, then we will be seeing that this steel only that will be produced using the renewable source of energy, green energy, then it will provide a greater demand also, and the regular steel that is in the market will not be produced by the manufacturers. So in which city Ministry of Steel has hosted this event, Greening Steel Pathway to Sustainability? It was hosted in New Delhi. Next, which ministry has recently notified certain provisions of the Competition Amendment Act 2023 to restructure the merger control regime with effect from 10th of September 2024? It is Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Right? These regulations mandate regulatory clearances from the CCI for the deals exceeding 2,000 crore rupees, and also the transactions involving entities with assets below 450 crore rupees or turnover under 1,250 crore rupees are exempt from the CCI approval. Next, which organization has recently introduced partnerships for accelerated innovation and research, that is PAIR, that is a multi-institutional initiative to boost research in higher education institutions. That means an institution that is a well equipped having multiple technologies that can do research and development, they can partner with smaller institutions that can help them to also gain momentum in the research and development. So this is your peer initiative. Correct question asked is, which organization has introduced this peer initiative? It was introduced by Anusandhan National Research Foundation, and recently Prime Minister Narendra Modi, correct, chaired the India's first meeting of this governing body of ANRF. Where was this held? At his residence in New Delhi. This was the first initiative, pair. Apart from pair, one more initiative was launched here, that is Maha initiative, that is Mission for Advancement in High Impact Area. This is a mission mode program that will accelerate research in key strategic and particular emerging areas. Say for example, in today's world it is machine learning, artificial intelligence, drone technology, space sector, and so on. Which organization has recently organized the 2-day first International Solar Festival, which was virtually addressed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi? So it was launched by International Solar Alliance. Right option is option 2. It is a joint venture between India and France that was established in 2015. Where is the headquarter? Gurugram, Haryana. Who is the project director here or managing director for this International Solar Alliance? Ajay Mathur. Next, which country has recently authorized to become the new member of BRICS New Development Bank? Which is that country? It is Algeria. Correct. And apart from this, remember, this was during a meeting of the BRICS countries. That was the 9th annual meeting of the National Development Bank that was held in South Africa. And this meeting was based on theme that is investing in a sustainable future. Next, who among the following is not featured on the Time 100 Most Influential People in Artificial Intelligence 2024 list? So, Akshit Bansal. He is the individual who is not listed here. So, Sundar Pichai, Anil Kapoor, Ashwini Vaishnav, and Satya Nadella. These are the 4 individuals who are listed on this list. Next, who was the first Indian to be elected as the president of Olympic Council of Asia in September 2024? So Raja Randhir Singh, right? He became the first Indian to be elected as the president of OC, Olympic Council of Asia. Take a note of this. Then he was the first shooter also, and he's related to which sport? He's related to shooting. He was awarded with Arjuna Award in 1979. Correct. Apart from this, he also received the Olympic Order in 2014, the Silver Olympic Order. Next, which ministry has recently set to sell 6.78% stake in General Insurance Corporation of India through offer for sale to raise 4,700 crore rupees? Which is that ministry? It is Ministry of Finance. So they will be selling 6.78% stake here for 4,700 crore rupees. Out of this, 3.39% share will be divested through equity and rest 3.39 through green shoe option. Next, when is the UN International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies observed across the world to raise awareness about the importance of clean air for sustainable future? It is 7th September. Right? This is observed as UN International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies. And this was the 5th edition of this day that was observed. Then there is a theme for this, that is invest in #clean air now. Next, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has recently organized Khel Utsav 2024 to commemorate whose birth anniversary? So it is of Dhyan Chand. Correct. So Khel Utsav 2024 was recently organized by Ministry of Information and Broadcasting to commemorate the birth anniversary of Major Dhyan Chand. Correct. Also remember, this grand supporting event was organized that coincides with National Sports Day. Correct. And here the focus will be on competition that are 4 popular sports in India: cricket, hockey, badminton, and table tennis. Next, which country has recently bowled out Mongolia for a mere 10 runs and chased down the target of ICC T20 World Cup 2026 qualifier? It is Singapore. Next, which of the following has recently become the first major Indian bank to join the partnership for carbon accounting financials? So which of the following has recently become the first major Indian bank to join PCAF, that is Partnership for Carbon Accounting Financials, it is Union Bank of India. This is an important question and do remember this. This PCAF, this is an organization basically that looks into the financials of the company, correct, and it looks up among the greenhouse gas emission reports of those organization in which the multiple investors will be investing, right? And further, if the report is good, that means they are creating less pollution, and hence the companies and the investors can invest more and provide more loans to that particular organizations. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of IFPO Tokyo General Insurance Company Limited. So, Subrata Mondal has been appointed as MD and CEO here. He will be replacing whom? H.O. Suri. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Finance Secretary of the Ministry of Finance? So, Tuhin Kanta Pandey. Tuhin Kanta Pandey has been appointed as the Finance Secretary of the Ministry of Finance. He will be succeeding whom? T.V. Somnathan. Correct. Apart from this, if we talk about Atul Kumar Chaudhary here, remember he became the new Secretary of TRAI, that is Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. Next, in September, India successfully launched Agni 4 missile from the integrated test range in Chandipur, Odisha. And Agni 4 belongs to which type of missile? So this Agni 4, remember, this is a intermediate range ballistic missile. IRBM, intermediate range ballistic missile. It was Agni 4, right? It was tested where? In ITR Chandipur, that is in Odisha. And this is the fourth missile of the Agni series. It is developed and designed by which organization? It is designed and developed by DRDO. It is a surface to surface missile, right? And it has a range of almost 4,000 kilometers. And it is also capable of carrying nuclear warheads. Next, which shipbuilding company has recently launched two indigenous designed and constructed anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft that are named Indian Naval Ship Malpe and Indian Naval Ship Mulki? So they have been designed and developed by Cochin Shipyard Limited. They are anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft ships, and they are INS Malpe and INS Mulki. These are the two one, and they have been developed by Cochin Shipyard Limited. If we talk about the fourth one, it is Indian INS Malpe, and the fifth one is INS Mulki. Next, who has recently won the men's single title at the US Open title? Right, so in the US Open, the men's title was won by Jannik Sinner. If we talk about Jannik Sinner, he is from Italy. Right, he is the world's #1 tennis player and he has won the US Open title. If we talk about the women's single title, right, women's single title was won by Arna Seblenka. Right, she's also world's #1 in women's category. And Anina Seblenka, she is from Belarus and she has won the women's single title here. Next, the CCI approved the National Investment and Infrastructure Fund proposal to acquire additional stake of which company? So additional stake of Ather company. Ather, this is a company that is making electric vehicles, two-wheeler electric vehicles. Right. Next, which tribe has recently got habitat rights to protect and preserve the natural entities, sacred sites and places of religious and spiritual importance located within their habitat? It is Sauro. Right, this is the tribe, correct, and this tribe is located where? It is in Odisha, and they became the tribe that got the habitat right to protect and preserve the natural entities, the forest there. Also, Sauros, they became the 5th tribal group in the state to get this habitat right. Next, who has been recently shortlisted for British Academy Book Prize for Global Cultural Understanding 2024? So Amitav Ghosh, right? Amitav Ghosh was shortlisted for the British Academy Book Prize for Global Cultural Understanding for his book that is Smoke and Ashes. So what is the name of the book here? Smoke and Ashes. Right. Apart from this, Ghosh's latest work, this Smoke and Ashes, is among the 6 titles competing in the top prize, and this book examines the far-reaching impact of the global opium trade from the 18th century till present-day crisis. Next, name the military exercise between India and United States of America that has recently commenced at the Foreign Training Node in Rajasthan. What is the name of that exercise? It is Yuddha Abhyas. Right? It began at the Foreign Training Node that is in the Mahajan Field Firing Range of Rajasthan. This exercise is held between which two countries? It is held between our India and United States of America. Correct? Then remember this was the 20th edition of this exercise. Correct? It was held in Rajasthan. And if we talk about the 19th edition of this exercise, it was held in Alaska, USA. Alaska, USA. Next, in which year Pradhan Mantri Kisan Mandhan Yojana scheme was launched? So this scheme was launched in 2019 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It was launched in Jharkhand. This scheme was administered by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. This scheme is basically for the individuals who are between 18 to 40 years of age, and under this scheme they will be contributing between 55 to 200 rupees per month, and this will be basically to provide them pension when they turn 60 years of age. So as per the age between this criteria, they will be investing the amount here and they will be getting 3000 rupees per month when they turn 60 years of age. So this fund or this type of pension will be managed by LIC. Name the country where the Indian Navy's P-8I aircraft recently reached to participate in the 16th edition of exercise Kakandu. So which is that country where Indian Navy P-8I aircraft reached to participate in this? It is Australia. Right? More than 3,000 personals over 32 nations took part in this exercise Kakandu. Next, who will most likely to become the world's first trillionaire by 2027 according to the report of Informa Connect Academy? So, Elon Musk, by 2027 it is expected he will become the first trillionaire. He is increasing his net worth by almost 110% every year. Second trillionaire that is expected will be from India, Gautam Adani, and he is expected to become a trillionaire in 2028. He is increasing his net worth by almost 123% annually. Next, who is set to be re-elected as the president of FIH for a second term? So, Mohammad Tayyab Ikram. He is set to be re-elected as the president of FIH for the second term. Next, which of the following person is not one of the 6 senior advocates who were recently appointed by the Appointments Committee of the Cabinet to serve as Additional Solicitor General in the Supreme Court of India? Correct? Who is not one of them? So, Tushar Mehta is not one among them. Rest 4 are the right options. Next, name the England cricketer who recently announced his retirement from international cricket. So, Moeen Ali has recently announced his retirement from the international cricket. He used to play for England's cricket team. Next, which state has recently announced the formation of the State Institution for Transformation, GRIT, to help realize the vision of a Viksit or a developed state by 2047. So this state is Gujarat, right? It is also the semiconductor manufacturing hub of India. Also, Gujarat government, they have announced the formation of GRIT. That is what does this GRIT stands for? This is a Gujarat State Institution for Transformation, that is GRIT. This is a think tank that is modeled on with the help of Niti Aayog, and this will help the state Gujarat to become developed by 2047. Next, which company has recently announced a collaboration with the International Business Machines to design advanced processors focusing on innovation, functionality and performance? It is L&T Semiconductor Technologies. This partnership aims to develop reliable, secure and scalable computing solutions for the various applications. Next, which of the following points are correct with respect to the approvals of Union Cabinet chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi? If we look at the options, A and B are right, C is wrong. C is saying the proposal for the implementation of Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana from FY26 to FY30 with an outlay of 70,125 crore rupees has been approved. So is it correct? So everything is right here. It's just remember this Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, it is from FY26. No, it is from FY25 till FY29 with an outlay of 70,125 crore rupees, not FY26 to FY30. Now all the options are right. Next, Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center recently launched their 4 key initiatives at the first Foundation Day event at Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi. Which ministry does I4C come under? This I4C, what does this I4C stands for? Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, correct? And if the first foundation of this I4C was held, and who was the chief guest here? Amit Shah was the chief guest here. And where was this event held? At Vigyan Bhavan. So question asked here is that this I4C comes under which ministry? So as Amit Shah was the chief guest here, so this comes under the Ministry of Home Affairs.